Postseason action on the gridiron continues in Week 13, and Access Sacramento, in association with PlayOn Sports, have you aligned with a marquee matchup in the semifinal round of the CIF Sac-Joaquin section Les Schwab Tires Football Playoffs, presented by Farmers Insurance, as the Del Oro Golden Eagles fly into Elk Grove to rumble with the Thundering Herd tonight on the Hometown Sports Game of the Week. Good evening and welcome to Elk Grove, Laguna Creek Community Stadium with the Imperator of Analysis, Hall of Famer Jim Domino. I'm Will James. We welcome you aboard for what should be a dynamite, very intense matchup. Step away from the outcome of this contest will be a trip to the section finals. We have dry weather, clear sky, and outstanding fall football conditions as Del Oro takes on Elk Grove, and certainly Jim Domino, two outstanding programs over the last couple decades.
Well, I certainly have. Del Oro has been having 3 sectional titles, been to the finals 6 times, really 7 league titles. What more can you ask from that program? Of course, Elk Grove has got its program back up the last 2 years, knocked off last year in the second round, but here again with only 1 loss this year. Outstanding programs.
Well, let's take a look at the graphic, the brackets, that is. At the last outings for these two ball clubs, second rounders, they were quarterfinal round ball games that enabled these two teams to reach the semis.
Okay, let's start out with Del Oro. They took care of business by beating St. Mary's 21-10, shutting out St. Mary's in the second half. And of course, their great back, Monroe, had a huge night, going for over 200 yards and 3 touchdowns. And while they were doing that, Elk Grove was taking care of business right here on this stadium by defeating Del Campo, a second match of both ball clubs. And both the dynamic duo, Parker and Fraser and Company, had a ton of yards and were victorious 35-14.
Well, at this stage of the season, when there are no more tomorrows, the primetime players have to lift their game even higher than usual. And for Casey Taylor's Golden Eagles, the Eagles Aces must bring their A game on the road tonight.
Well, let's start out with their leader and quarterback, Zach Labar, having a good year, throwing for 8 touchdowns, only having 2 picks this year. And then everything, Brandon Monroe. You watch him tonight, 32. He's got over 1,300 yards in only 7 or 8 ball games. He's had over 900 yards in the last 4 or 5 games. He is hot in the playoffs. Okay, then let's go to Tanner Woods, their offensive and defensive lineman, having a phenomenal year. Great blocker, great defensive man. And last but not least, their tight end linebacker, Tyler Mateer. Tyler Mateer, you'll see a lot of him tonight at tight end and outside backer.
Well, Elk Grove head coach Chris Nixon will counter those aces with a grand hand of his own. The Herd headliners square up with a formidable cast.
Well, let's start out with what I call franchise back, and that's Robert Frazier. This year, 21 touchdowns, almost 2,000 yards, just having a phenomenal year. And then we go to Parker, his running mate, Wadis Parker, good receiver, great running back, outstanding linebacker. And, of course, we go to Buon, Canada, who doubles as a wideout, an interior lineman, great speed. And then, of course, we go to their tight end, Latui Gasanoa, who's having a great year, outside linebacker and tight end. And last but not least, that linebacker that you'll see a lot of, a young sophomore, Spencer leading them at linebacker and filling in.
Welcome aboard, Access Sacramento's Hometown Sports Game of the Week. The Elk Grove Thundering Herd accept the opening kickoff. Elijah Jones has a modest run back out across the 20 and average field position upcoming for the Herd. Let's take a look at that offensive starting lineup headed by QB Tarmy Arnold, and we'll set the rest as we can. Shep, the fullback, Frazier, Wright, Jones, Latuli, Gasanoa, interior line, Cruz, Vila, Lawler, McMahon, and Vargas. First play from scrimmage. Up the gut, grudging yardage, heavy line play, not much doing there. And that Del Oro staunch run defense showing itself right there. They're starting D. Interior line of Woods, Campos, and Frankham Clark. Quartet of backers, Huddick, Cainrath, Mateer, you're going to see a lot of him, and Tyler Wharton. And the secondary comprised of Krieger and Becker at the corners, the safeties, Labar, and the outstanding aforementioned Brandon Monroe. Our officiating crew is going to be busy this evening in a run scenario for both ball clubs. I doubt if we'll have a tremendous duration of running time in tonight's contest. From the NCOA, our game officials headed by referee Bill Cruz, umpire Mike Teague. Our head linesman, Jerry Springer. The line judge tonight, Mike Phipps, and Mark McCone will serve as the back judge. It's a gain of 2 on first down, make it 2nd and 8 upcoming from the 24. But let's hear from Bill Cruz.
11:30. Can you?
We're not even going to speculate on this conference at the Elk Grove sideline. Cruz back onto the field. We have premium weather conditions tonight. Cool, but very tolerable and dry. And a near capacity crowd with spectators still coming in to the Elk Grove Laguna Creek Community Stadium. Right side running, Frazier crosses the 30 and he's banged down after running for a first down, or close to it. Let's see where they spot him. At the 32, that looks like he's got enough. Frazier, one of the premier backs in the region for a number of reasons. 1st and 10, they're going to put him at the 33, so gain of 9 on that. Turn and give. Frazier working left. Blasted and shoved back on a tremendous surge there. Penetration by a number of the Golden Eagles, led by Brandon Monroe.
And let's put number 33, Frankham Clark, with him. Well, I'll tell you what, they were blitzing. They got great penetration. Watch this hit right in here. Welcome to Del Oro land.
Loss of nearly 2. We'll call it 2nd and 12. Clock rolling. We played a minute and a half. Very nice to have you with us tonight for the Hometown Sports Game of the Week. Arnold wants to throw. He gets flushed. Throws an outlet. And he's got a wide open receiver. It's Jones. Back to the middle. Tackled from behind. Getting inside the Eagles 45. Nice improvising by Arnold. And the athletic Jones knew what to do with it.
Well, he certainly did. Great scramble by Arnold. If we look at the replay here, watch Arnold flush the pocket, roll right, escaping a tackler, and he spots Jones wide open in the middle there, picking up approximately 20 yards and moving the chains. Outstanding job by Arnold.
From the Eagles 44. Toss to Frazier. Cannot find the hole. Wow, look at Monroe shoot through the gap and make the solo hit.
Well, you're looking at one of the premier players in the area, Will. He can do it all, and ever since he healed from his early season injury, he's been something else. Watch Monroe come up quickly, take on a blocker, shed the blocker, make a play.
No, that's just tremendous defensive skill there. 37 tackles on the season, 33 of them solo jobs. That's his second tackle in the last 3 plays for losses. Parker trying to run wide and cannot.
Well,
he makes the line of scrimmage in a wee bit more and not even back to the original line of scrimmage, 3rd and 11.
Well, right now, that Del Oro defense is not going to let Frazier beat him. Let's have another look at Frazier, trying to go inside, outside, and a host of Golden Eagles there. Excuse me, that was Parker on that run.
Tanner Woods tracked that down from behind. pursuit from the rear really showed some moxie there to make that hit. 3rd and 11. Arnold throws on the run. Incomplete, and a flag is dropped. They were going for Latuli Gasanoa, and Zach Labar getting there apparently a wee bit early.
Pass interference. Defense.
Now, there you see head referee Cruz, no doubt about it. He was there early. Zach Labar breaking it up. Look at it. Let's have another look. Arnold rolling right. And Zach there a little.
So it's going to be an automatic first down coming.
Nice camera work on that. As you see Zach getting there early to close on tight end Noah Latuli Gasanoa.
So the first penalty of the ball game is a big one. It comes on 3rd and 11 for the Herd. Pass interference sets up a first down at the Del Oro 30. Turn and give. Frazier grabbed and thrown down. You know, I haven't seen defensive play like this in a while. Jonathan Francone Clark.
Well,
a bear hug job.
If you watch 33 and 32, Jonathan Francone Clark, I'll tell you, he's quick. And then everything, Brandon Monroe, he is quick. Great penetration, sheds his blocker. And I'll tell you, right now they're keying on both these running backs.
No gain, 2nd and 10. And statistically, Del Oro has been tougher against the running ball clubs, as I understand it.
Well, we've got to bring that up. I think they've been very tough against the run. And
Arnold has a wide open Jones. It's a first down. He slips away to the 5. Touchdown, Thundering Herd. Wow. Elijah Jones, and we've been saying for weeks that he needs more touches.
Well, there you have it. They've been vulnerable to the pass for the last 6-8 weeks. Very stingy to the run, and very, very apparent, Will, right there. It's forced Elk Grove to go to the passing game early and quite surprisingly successfully.
No question about it. I haven't seen Arnold throw that many passes all season as he has in this first 5 minutes. On for the PAT. Chip shot on the way, and Justin Singh has a bullseye. Another look at the TD.
Watch the rollout here by Arnold, flushing the pocket. Wide open Jones there on a 15. Sheds 2 would-be tacklers without even getting a block and gets into the end zone.
Let's check in with Bob Moffitt downstairs. Bobby?
Hey guys, Elk Grove's coach Chris Nixon upset first with the timekeeper, trying to figure out why the clock had stopped, and then upset with his players because they kept getting the plays wrong, still able to drive down the length of the field and score.
They sure did. Thank you, Bob.
Well, I don't think Coach can be too upset with that drive, showing the passing game. And as mentioned, Will, and doing our research during the week, it seems like Coach Taylor's club has given far more via the air than on the ground, and quite early in this football game, forcing Elk Grove to throw the ball.
I think Arnold's attempted 4 or 5 passes, but they go 78 yards in 9 plays.
And getting first downs via the passing lanes.
The big penalty, though, on the pass interference on 3rd and 11 sustained the drive. Meantime, kickoff from the 4. Big room, straight up the middle. Monroe loose. Watch out. Breaks another tackle, slips away, and finally surrounded and dropped near the Eagle 45. Well, let's take a look at the Eagles offense headed by QB Labar. He works with Franken Clark and the scintillating Brandon Monroe with Becker, Huddick, and Mateer. That interior line consisting of Emilio Campos, Schmidt, Johnson, Tanner Woods, and Zach Jensen. So a good start field position for the Eagles at their own 45.
Watch this double tight here. Full house backfield. Giving it to their franchise Monroe picking up. Now, you're going to see a lot of this power football out of this ball club.
Gain of 3, 2nd and 7. Here's the Elk Grove D. Canada, Cruz, and Vila, the interior line. Quartet of backers, Parker and Latuli Gasanoa outside, Harrow and Chef on the inside. The corners are Hartz and Robert Frazier, and the safeties, Jones and Hall.
Well, here you see Delaware breaking a huddle. Pretty big up front, Will, and then sizable backs to go with it.
Flag flies before the snap. And it's apparent that Bill Cruz and his crew from the NCOA will be busy this evening. It's going to be against the Eagles. Here's the call.
Dead ball. Encroachment. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Remains. 2nd down.
Well, certainly they were very quick with that call, Will. And as you saw, Del Oro was beginning to go into their shift. One of their linemen's hand was over the line of scrimmage.
It didn't require movement, just an encroachment. 2nd and 12 now after the -5. Double wideouts to the far side. Quick hit. Huddick has a completion. Jones is out there to wrap up the receiver, but it's a gain of 3 or 4. They'll spot it at the 48. And that'll bring up a 3rd and somewhat long. Otten with the grab.
Well, let's have a look at that. He just runs a quick hitch to his wideout, Otten, and picking up about maybe 5 yards on the play. Now, Huddick and Mateer, their tight ends, 9 and 8 respectively, can play wide as well as tight.
So they get the penalty yardage back. 3rd and 7. Huddick to throw, steps up and fires to the sideline. Nobody there for the Eagles. Incomplete.
He had a deep receiver wide open on about the 35-yard line of Elk Grove, but Zach Labar had already made up his mind, Will, to go to the short side. Receiver wide open. I'm sure you're going to see them come back to that play.
Well, punter Skylar Rand, number 2, into the ballgame for the Eagles. He'll do the booting from the Del Oro 35 or so. Single returner at safety for the Herd, Parker, outside the Elk Grove 25. Got an equipment problem here with the helmet, it looks like. So Rand in a position here to help his ball club if he can put a good foot into it. High snap, he's up to get it. Casual approach to that punt. And he gets a nice eagle roll. And it's going to be downed inside the 15-yard line. So excellent job on that punt.
Well, he certainly got the benefit of a 15-yard roll, Will. The ball really was only up in the air, maybe 30 yards at the most. But he got a great end-over-end bounce, putting Elk Grove back deep in their territory. And let's see right now if Del Oro once again says, you're not going to run against us, you're going to have to throw because we're going to shut down the run. And I'll tell you, they are very physical up front, Will. Very physical.
Well, unless I missed something, each of those pass attempts by Arnold thus far have been the rollout type where he leaves the pocket. They run the football. Breakaway for Elk Grove right up the middle. Here's a foot race. It's Schiff. They're after him. Hit to the 30, to the 20, and he's run out of bounds on a TD saving effort at the far sideline.
I'll stay on it.
Ott helps prevent the score.
Well, I would say that's a great, not only a great run, but a great call to the fullback. They prefer to give the ball to their halfbacks, Will, and now they give that to young sophomore Spencer Sheff. Watch a handoff, and he breaks a tackle at the line of scrimmage. Where are the linebackers? Suddenly he's in a secondary, and they're chasing him down. Great effort, and number 21 from Del Oro hauls him down.
Troy Klein, a backup DB, as you see here, just able to cut him off. Klein entered the contest with 41 tackles and an interception, but it was his foot speed there that prevented the score in the tackling effort. Nevertheless, red zone field position for the Herd, and they are off to an outstanding 6+ minute opening start here in the first quarter.
Well, I think they don't expect Spencer Sheff to run away from people. He's known for his blocking and inside running, Will, but he showed some speed there.
All right, now he's known for speed.
Yeah.
Okay, from the 16, turn and toss. Frazier working to the near side. The play gets strung out, but he still makes 5 on the play and chased out of bounds.
Well, Frazier with that great speed, normally he's able to turn a corner, but a good job by Dello stringing it out. They fill the running lanes pretty good. Watch this replay here, and you see them move laterally real well, stringing the play out. Tough to stop him. He got about 2.5, 3 yards on the play.
They did give him a very good spot on that. They place it at the 13-yard line. They give him 3, make it 2nd and 7. Sheff was the lead blocker again on that. Arnold to throw, roll and fire. Incomplete. A diving effort near the goal line. Latuli Gasanoa, the intended receiver, coverage on the play by safety Zach Labar.
Well, if you watch closely, you'll notice that Juan Canada wide open in front of Latuli Gasanoa, and they're flooding the area, and one of them seemed to be wide open. They run a double out there, and believe me, that's tough to cover in that coverage that they're in. They look like they're playing 3 deep zone.
Arnold wants to throw again, gets flushed, and he's going to run it, and has room straight up the middle, blasted at the 6, and he falls forward to the 5. A solid shot delivered by Elias Campos.
Well, Arnold having a terrific quarter right now. I think they're going to measure well. Tommy Arnold, back to pass, rolling left, flushes the pocket, breaks a tackle, heads up the field, and gets drilled by Elias Campos.
Campos finished it, but actually it was a solid shot by Monroe to snurf that out head on head.
I'm
Brandon
impressed with the hitting of Monroe.
Boy,
I know
what a
they recruited
defender.
him as a running back, but I can tell you he hits like a linebacker, doesn't he, Will?
He does. So they're going to measure. They do, and they're an inch short. 4th and an inch from the 7. Arnold's scramble is an eyelash short, and we'll see what Chris Nixon and staff have in mind here in a deep red zone 4th down scenario. Sheff enters the contest as part of that Elk Grove backfield.
Well, let's see if Arnold mixes up the count here, runs a non-rhythmic, and draws a cheap 5.
Well, he could just about fall across the line of scrimmage. There's a surge right there. Wow, I don't even. Well, that's picking up a first down the easy way.
That's what I refer to as a cheap 5. Have a look.
Dead ball, encroachment, defense, first down.
First and goal from the 3, and the Herd banging on the front door again, already leading at 7-0. In case you've just stopped in, welcome aboard and happy Thanksgiving weekend to you. This is Access Sacramento's hometown sports game of the week. The Thundering Herd trying to tack on another TV. Work right, Frazier to the sideline. Touchdown, Thundering Herd. Robert Frazier tiptoes into the corner. Comes at the 4:37 on the flip side of quarter number 1. 13-0 now. One of the area's premier running backs let the blocking develop and ran to the little bit of daylight there was.
He had great patience in that run. You're exactly right, Will. He really did. He let his blocking develop, and then he cashed in, found a hole, found a lane, and took advantage.
Sing. Chip shot PAT on the money at 4:37 of the first. Elk Grove hits again, and another look at Frazier.
Look at Frazier. Inside, outside. Breaks a tackle. I'll tell you, keeps those feet moving.
We'll be right back to Elk Grove High as we see Frazier break 2 tackles and get inside the pylon.
In 1985, while polio was paralyzing 1,000 children a day, Rotary International committed to a goal of ending polio worldwide. Very soon now, after contributing nearly $600 million and immunizing over 2 billion children, the goal will be achieved. Eradicating polio worldwide. That is humanity in motion. That is Rotary.
Quick striking Elk Grove on the board again here late in the first quarter, now leading Del Oro 14-0. Frazier with the touchdown the second time around, but that drive highlighted by the Spencer Sheff 72-yard burst. Here's the Justin Singh kickoff, a line drive fielded inside the 10, run back across the 25, average field position upcoming after the run back turned in by Cody Otten. Let's turn our attention to Bob Moffett. What you got, Bob?
Del Oro's coach is really trying to emphasize proper tackling technique, which is, of course, easier said than done when you're facing the speed of Elk Grove. But they're also heartened by the fact that their players are in the right position often to make stops. They just haven't been able to do so far.
No stops in that drive. 86 yards in 6 plays. Turn and give. Boom! Monroe just got greeted. And that was a welcome home delivered by Jaime Cruz, starting at the nose tonight.
Well, you can see why he's back in that starting defensive lineup. Jaime starts at offensive left tackle. And watch the replay here. Great penetration. Big hit on a big back. Good job by Jaime Cruz.
Loss of 1, 2nd and 11 from the Eagle 25 here with less than 4 minutes remaining in the first quarter. Turn and give. Monroe works right and gets stacked and dropped, crossing the 25 to about the 27. He gets 3 or so on the play, but it's going to bring up 3rd and long.
Well, right now on the early downs, watch Elk Grove putting about 8 people in the box, and you'll see that the back they have to key, of course, is Monroe. Watch. And they're there, and they're pursuing well down the line. They really are shedding their blocks and really going laterally down the line to give Monroe a lot of looks.
Monroe dispatched as a wide receiver. They throw over the middle. It's picked off on the dead run. Wow, outstanding read that time by Guy Hall. And then he turned on the juice, and his run back has set up the herd beautifully near red zone territory. They're at the 27.
Well, Elk Grove very opportunistic tonight, being in the right place at the right time, forcing the ball in the middle of nowhere coverage, and well short of the intended receiver. And Guy Hall with a great pick, putting Elk Grove in great field position.
That play was set up by tremendous pass pressure on LeBar to disrupt the timing of those pass routes. Left side running Frazier. Nice job right there defensively to shut that down and limit the play. Tanner Woods.
Once again, you see, they're going to tire that Del Oro front out. Notice they're going to the perimeter, making the Del Oro defense run because they're very tough inside tackle to tackle, Will.
So far, they have stretched them laterally, not just with the run game, but with Arnold's rollout ability. 2nd and 8 to the near side. Frazier, he's got some room, cuts it, bangs ahead to the 10. Or I should say the 20, gain of 5, and it's going to bring up 3rd and about 3 or so.
Well, once again, they have a choice of run or pass here. This is a nice situation to be in, 3rd or 3. Have a look at this. There you see a good job by Del Oro, stringing the play out, and good team pursuit. Looked like we had a little activity in the back there at the end of the run.
Tyler Mateer with the stop, number 8, with an assist there in the secondary from Cody Otten. 3rd and 3 from the 20. Turn and give. Parker, nice job of wriggling off the hook and getting first down yardage by a yard or so to spare. to the 16.
Wade's Parker,
Or not.
part of the dynamic duo. It appears to me like they got the first down.
I like the way he read the hole
Oh,
here.
very nice. He bounces back inside against the grain, picks up a good 3 after contact. Excellent, on his own.
So the Elk Grove offense working beautifully here in the first period, down to about a minute and a half, clock rolling here. 14-0 Elk Grove, trying to go for an early knockout here. Parker slips and gets inside the 15 to the 14.
Well, again, Parker likes to run inside. It's kind of, as I mentioned, thunder and lightning. Parker prefers to go inside. Frazier goes off tackle outside.
So
there's Coach Nixon just sending him Arnold back in with a play call.
So Spencer Sheff into the ball game. Parker out. Turn, Arnold, flush, grabbed and throws up for grabs and incomplete to the end zone. Boy, I don't know.
Wow.
Was anybody out there?
Elk Grove was very fortunate.
Here's
on
a
that.
late penalty marker coming out several seconds after the ball fell incomplete. Referee Bill Cruz.
Don't tell me. We're going to find out here.
Intentional?
Intentional grounding. Offense.
You got it.
5-yard penalty. Lost it down.
Wow, Tommy Arnold trying to salvage a busted play. The walk-off for the penalty goes to the 25, and it strips him of a down. So that was a 2nd and 8.
Well, we got now a 3rd and approximately 17 or 18. If we have another look at this, watch Arnold under heavy pressure here, faking inside now, getting depth and great penetration. Here comes a host of people led by 56, Tanner Woods, all city linemen, and there's a throwaway. No question, a good call by the officials.
Full agreement. So 3rd and 18 from the 25. Straight drop, big rush, intercepted on the dead run. Mateer with the rock, and he returns across the 45, and that is a drive buster. Consecutive ill-advised throws by Tommy Arnold, and Del Oro wriggles off the hook.
He had no business throwing that one either. Mateer, excellent drop coverage. Watch Mateer reading it perfect right here in front of Frazier. Cuts in front of Frazier. Perfect timing. Frazier brings him down with some help by Arnold, who's not arrives there in not too good a mood after that one.
First down at the Eagle 47. 32 seconds left here in the first quarter, and the Golden Eagles get a tremendous reprieve there on some shaky execution right when the Herd were set up beautifully to punch in a 3rd touchdown.
Well, that's absolutely true. However, now the Golden Eagles with an excellent opportunity to get back in this football game in good field position, and it appears they're going to have to, in this drive, mix it up a little bit because they can ill afford as great a back as Monroe is. Monroe left, Monroe right. You're going to see 8 people in the box there trying to reduce the yardage of Monroe and force LeBar and company to go elsewhere. And he's got to do it on earlier downs. Well, you cannot wait to 3rd and must to throw.
I'm waiting for Mateer and Becker to become receivers here. Collectively, they're in for about 70 receptions. He keeps it. LeBar scoots ahead, slides into Elk Grove territory at the Herd 46.
I thought we had a late flag coming in there.
We did indeed.
Outstanding. While we're waiting, that was an outstanding fake by quarterback LeBar. I mean, half of the Herd linemen tackled Monroe.
Our officiating crew, you see there, headed by Bill Cruz, sorting this out. And momentarily we'll have the call, and it's going to be a big one. But Tyler Mateer with 42 catches and Becker with 26 are the most productive receivers in the Del Oro core for Zach LeBar. Let's see if he starts going to them.
Yeah, we haven't seen that. Let's look here.
Personal foul. Helmet contact. Defense. The result of the play is a first down.
Major penalty after an outstanding scramble run, which was nearly a first down, and is going to set up Del Oro beautifully at the Elk Grove 30.
Well, again, I think Coach wants a number out there. You see Coach Nixon with his arms up in the air saying, what was the number? Now someone's coming over to him.
The Herd head coach asking for and receiving further clarification. Meantime, the Eagles break their huddle, but our officiating crew not yet back into position. Back judge now scampers onto the field. LeBar and company ready to go for the Eagles. They trail it 14-0 here in the final 20 seconds. Straight ahead, big room, all the way to the 20.
Huge hole inside.
A 10-yard blast.
Here you see the hard-running Monroe going right up the middle.
The first quarter has expired. We'll step back, stick around. Lots more to come. Hometown Sports Game of the Week.
Everyone has friends. There's online friends. Friends to go out with on a Saturday night. Friends to hang out with and do nothing. Friends who show up on moving day. And then there are the friends who'll be there if someone is dealing with a mental illness. Are you one of those friends?
Elk Grove head coach Chris Nixon visibly frustrated along that Elk Grove sideline, conferring again with our referee, Bill Cruz, about those last couple of plays. Meantime, big running room, and Monroe hurdles his way to the Elk Grove 15.
And there you see Frazier making a great tackle, or perhaps Monroe goes all the way. And that's what you have to tackle Monroe. You got to wrap up and hit him low because he is a strong, powerful runner.
First and 10 from the 16. Del Oro on the move. Right side running. Monroe strings it out, gets to the 11, near the 10. A gain of 5. And the clock stops as he gets bumped out of bounds. A good look at one of the dazzling runners in this region.
Well, he's what we call a north-south runner, obviously. He's not going to give you too many moves. He's going to just turn on the juice, accelerate, and go north-south or vertical.
Turn and give to Monroe. He tries to power up and gets stuffed at the 10.
Well, he's still short approximately 3 yards. And again, Del Oro prefers to run for them to move the chains. But as we look at the Del Oro sideline, they're talking to LeBar like he's got to bring in something special here. But looking at it from a standpoint of a ball club that's very confident in their run game, again, 3 yards, got to average 1.5 yards, 2 yards to get to move those chains.
It's a 3rd and 3 from the 9. We've played a minute here in the second quarter. Elk Grove on top, 14-0. Del Oro threatening. He bumps off a tackle to the goal line. Touchdown, Golden Eagles. The not to be denied Brandon Monroe takes a couple of hits and carries it home.
Well, he appeared to have been tackled. You see where he broke those tackles and kept his feet moving. Well, we certainly had a change in momentum here in the last 5 minutes of this ball game thus far. That pick was monumental.
Rand hits the PAT, and it's 14-7. Del Oro on the board. I guess we're going to stay right here and maybe pick up Bob Moffitt. There's Monroe.
Monroe breaking tackles, keeping his balance, keeping the leg drive going, and putting Del Oro right back in the ball game.
All right, let's check in with Bob Moffitt down below. What you got, Bob?
Del Oro's doing a good job changing up their looks at least twice in that last drive. Defenders from Elk Grove came off the sideline asking what they should do when a particular instance would happen. And what also is happening is that Del Oro is really using the fullback or the up back to particular good use, and that's really causing havoc for the linebackers and DBs trying to come up and stop the running back.
Thank you, Bob. Del Oro gets in 5 plays to chop the deficit in half.
Well, that interception was not only a drive buster, Will, but it certainly has given the Golden Eagles some momentum now, putting it back in this football game.
Here's the kickoff, wide, and it takes an excellent bounce right past Jones, and then it'll be a touchback and no run back. Wow. Golden Eagles got a real break there.
A great break because, as we know, Elijah Jones is dangerous on those kickoff returns.
So the Elk Grove offense back onto the field, and pass-happy Tommy Arnold might just slow down in that department now after getting hit with an intentional grounding and then picked off to set up that scoring drive.
Well, if you notice, he wasn't under too much pressure early in the first quarter. But now he is.
Turn and give. Up the middle running. Look out! Parker loose to the sideline. Juke move and shoved out near the Eagle 40. Wow. Wattis Parker. About a 37-yard burst. They spot it at the Del Oro 43.
Watch Wattis Parker inside on a trap play. Inside, outside. Makes the safety miss a tackle. He's got the speed and the power. Uses his free hand stiff arm.
So Parker scoots for 37. And that didn't work. Schiff got pounded hard right at the line of scrimmage. Actually, he got hit before reaching the line of scrimmage, and they're going to give him a little progress.
Well, Brandon Johnson playing some defense now. The starting center has been moved over to the defensive line with a big hit.
I believe this is the identical play where he went 72 yards earlier in the ball game.
Same play. They were ready for it. Yeah.
Another Del Oro line surge. They've been caught on that a few times tonight.
Well, they're knuckled over. I mean, they're inside 3. I mean, is crowding the ball, number 1, Will. And if Elk Grove can probably at least once a quarter, they can force this, Will, with a non-rhythmic count. Really, because Del Oro is really knuckled over with their helmets almost over the ball when they line up.
Football advanced to the 38. Frazier, sharp cut inside. First down for the Herd as he makes the 28.
Well, that was all Frazier. You saw him use a change of pace, stutter step, evasive as he is, and he's also powerful for that size of a guy. He really is. He's got the whole game. Have a look at this. Watch Frazier. Look at this field. Inside, outside carry, pick up a couple of more. Outstanding back.
He ran right through Tyler Mateer and knocked off his helmet on this play. First down after he runs for 10. He bobbles the pitch, grabs it, and he's going to be swarmed under for about a 5-yard loss.
Well, he better tighten up. Hudak that time lost his helmet. And between, Hudak and Mateer, they better tighten that helmet up.
They lose 6 on the play. Boy, massive penetration that time. Football parked at the 34. Make it 2nd and 15.
Well, they're giving the wide receiver, look it up top of your screen here, you'll see huge cushion by the top side.
Arnold
Wide open.
with the screen to Parker, but no blocking. However, it's a gain to about the 25. He picks up nearly 10 on the play, but they're shy of a first down by about 5.
Well, it still puts them in good position. Well, they're at the 25. They've got really 2 downs to make 5. There's a screen by Arnold over to Parker. Parker has got no room inside, takes him outside. Nice job there with a one-arm tackle by number 9, Huddick.
This was a real battle here. You see the stiff arm in the helmet, but he still dragged him down. What a war. Inside running. Schiff gets drilled hard, but he gets inside the 25, picks up yardage to the 23.
Well, right now they'll be faced with a decision. 4th and approximately, we got a player down, and it could be Schiff.
I think you're correct, Imperator. Football's going to be parked at the 23-yard line on 4th and 6. Let's not speculate on the injury. Instead, we'll step back and come right back to Elk Grove High School and more of the Hometown Sports Game of the Week.
They've stormed beaches and freed countries. They've raised our flag and our hope. They've been called leathernecks. They've been called devil dogs. But above all, they're called Marines.
A huge 4th and 4 upcoming, but not before a Tommy Arnold timeout. And the Herd Brain Trust wants to talk this over, but I'm sure Bob Moffitt will get an update on the injury to Spencer Schiff. It looked on a preliminary glance from way up here like it might have been a shoulder scenario.
I think you're going to see Tommy Arnold call the timeout. He tried to non-rhythmic again to get him offside. It didn't work, so he called a timeout. Tommy Arnold's a little frustrated on the sideline, and I believe Coach is going to bring in a field goal team here.
4th and 4 from the Golden Eagle 23. Right now, Elk Grove on top, 14-7. They broke out 14-0 and were primed to score a third time before Arnold threw the interception. Del Oro made the most of it and drove the field to score a TD, slicing the lead in half. But now Elk Grove has returned the drive, and now Justin Singh on for an apparent field goal attempt from the 30. It'll make it a 40-yarder from the near hash mark.
Now, if he does not make this, of course, Del Oro will take over in pretty decent field position here.
Out of the hold of Medigovic, 83. Spotted clean, booted, got distance. Got it! Just inside the right upright, a 40-yarder for Singh, a clutch boot. Nearing the midway mark with the clock still running here at 7:22. And the Herd stretches out a little insurance here, 17-7. The field goal coming at the 7:15. We're just going to hold it right here for the ensuing kickoff, and hopefully I see Bob Moffitt approaching our sideline position. He'll likely have an upcoming update on Spencer Schiff's condition, and that will be important, whether he's able to return to the contest.
Well, if you look down there, you'll see Schiff getting treatment.
At 7:15, we near midway second. Elk Grove on the board again, this time via the field goal, courtesy of Singh from 40. A clutch boot in a big game. Okay, Bob, what's the score?
Linebacker, running back Spencer Sheff, number 6 from Elk Grove, on the training table getting an ankle taped, a recurring ankle tweak of the right ankle. He says he will be back.
Thank you, Bob. Encouraging news. Retaped the ankle for Spencer Schiff. Apparently returning to action as and when that is completed. Meantime, Sing to kick off for Elk Grove. The Herd regrouping after being scored upon and driving the field for a field goal. And we can see here that we have a very near capacity crowd on hand tonight at Elk Grove High School, Elk Grove Laguna Creek Community Stadium, on a beautiful night for fall football. There's the approach, a short kickoff, taken on the run at the 15. Couple of broken tackles and a bit of a breakaway on the run. And Del Oro is in business with excellent field position on a slick run back that time.
Looks like Klein.
It is Klein.
Nice run back. Uses his blockers wisely.
Excellent defensive back again, showing his value here on special team to the Elk Grove 47.
Well, Del Oro takes over on the 47 with a short field to drive and should carry some momentum on that last series when Monroe got into gear.
So they trail by 10. They run left side. Wow! Bounce it outside. Monroe loose and being dragged down from behind as he makes the Elk Grove 25.
Well, he's a load. He really is. We're talking about his power inside the game, but he showed some speed by bouncing outside that time. He uses all his weapons. And I'll tell you right now, I can understand why San Jose went after him.
21 yards on this burst.
Watch this inside, outside, using his blockers, using his weapons.
All the attributes that Joe Davidson told us about, the vision, the cuts, the power, the acceleration, and a marker comes out prior to this snap. And we'll see again if Casey Taylor's Del Oro Golden Eagle offense has misfired here.
I take a look at this.
Bill Cruz will have the story.
Dead ball, encroachment, offense, 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
I've lost count of those, Imperator.
Well, that's 4, and what really is something that's going to bug Coach Casey Taylor is that offensive offsides or encroachment, and it's all being called by one official.
Loss of 5, 1st and 15. Monroe loose up the middle, and he gets it all back just about. He's dragged down, crossing the 20, and with all due respect to all the backs we've seen this year, he's as good as anybody I've seen.
Well, I'll tell you what, he gets off the football, and he's dangerous. He runs inside, outside. Look at him. He's got good moves, good acceleration, great vision.
Gain of 12 to the 19. Stop and go, dash and dart, and he makes the 15-yard line.
Yeah, he's going to move the chains again, Will. He's a chain mover, and let me tell you something. There was nothing there. If you see the replay, he brings his lunch pail every down. I'll tell you that. Let's look at that. There really is little to no hole. There's nothing there. A lot of traffic as you see him bounce off that one. Use that stiff arm.
No, that was just tremendous. Looky here. He dodges those 2 tacklers and drags those 2 before being shoved back. 1st and 10 from the Elk Grove 15. Red zone offense. Monroe. This time bottled up after he reaches the 12 or so.
Well, that was tough. There was nothing there. He looked a little, I know he's not tired, but he looked a little tired on that run. And I can understand why. Now, they're keying on him, and I know he's their meal ticket. But what a great play action down here.
Okay, there's the quarterback talking. 2nd and 8 from the 13. Backfield shift. Monroe's got the pill, shucks a tackler, and lurches ahead for a gain back to the line of scrimmage or so.
Well, once again, as I said previously, here it is, 3rd down. He's carried the ball every time. And being 3rd down and about 7, Will, I think it's time for LeBar maybe to play action and throw, unless they have a counter off it. There you see Elk Grove doing a good job stringing the play out. A new tailback in the game.
Well, I like your idea of throwing on second down, but here's 3rd and 7 from the 12. Now they're going to throw. There's the flow, and it's a beautiful job all the way to the 7 or 8. They're going to be shy, it looks like.
They look like they're a yard and a half off to Tyler
has
Mateer.
the grab, and they spot it at the 7.
Well, they have to get to the 5.5, and they're short. And Tyler Mateer has had a good year, junior only, as they play action. And on 3rd down, you see it only gives you 1 down, 2 downs to work with. Tyler Mateer, good job by Elk Grove closing. They're a yard and a half short. And
Juan Canada sealed that off beautifully before additional help arrived.
Yeah, it's easy from here. I like a couple of downs to throw rather than 1.
4th and a couple. Here's the big play. But whistle stop play. Del Oro takes a timeout. We're going to step back and exhale ourselves here. 3:38 left in the second here on the Hometown Sports Game of the Week. Stick around.
Well,
It's easy to tell if you've had way too many. But what if you've had just one too many? Buzz driving is drunk driving.
.338 left, late second. Del Oro is going to line up for an apparent field goal attempt from the 14-yard line. We'll call it a 24-yarder from the near hash mark. And Skylar Rand will be doing the booting, trying to neutralize the previous 40-yarder off the foot of Elk Grove's Justin Singh. It's 17-7 Elk Grove, and certainly the Eagles would help themselves with a field goal here. And he's got it at 3:37 of the second. Del Oro back on the scoreboard, and the short field goal pulls the Eagles within 7 at 17-10. Let's check in with Bob Moffitt.
Don't worry about it. Juan Canada, number 14 for Elk Grove, complaining of extreme pain in his wrist. Told one of the coaches he thinks it's broken. They're trying to wrap it, but it really hurts to move it. They're planning on bringing out the emergency staff right now to attend to him. Hopefully it's not as serious as it feels to him right now.
Hopefully not. Thank you, Bob.
Well, Elk Grove coming out of here at this first half with 2 pretty good football players who are banged up. It looks like certainly Chef can go back in there, but they really count on him. A great blocker, made a great run tonight. Outstanding linebacker, sophomore only. And then Juan Canada, their two-way starter. Those are 2 guys they need in that lineup.
Most assuredly. The Del Oro scoring drive, 53 yards, 8 plays, capped with the field goal as the Eagles close within 7 now. Shaking off some early jitters at an early 14-0 deficit. Ensuing kickoff, short and toward the near sideline. Parker has the pill, jukes his way across the 30 and shoved out. Nice run back by Wattis Parker, and it sets up Elk Grove with good field position. And there you see the Elk Grove sideline, the Imperator talking about 2 key injuries, and Bob Moffitt will keep us updated on their status.
Well, you see one of them back in the ball game. Number 6, Spencer Chef.
1st and 10 from the 33. Toss to Frazier. Split the defense. There's the speed. Look out. Big foot race near side, and they've got him. Wow. That was a scintillating play all the way around, and Zach LeBar saves the TD, but Frazier ripped off another highlight reel gem.
Look at this play. Watch this burst right here. Outstanding speed. LeBar tracks him down with a great game-saving tackle, actually a touchdown-saving tackle. And Frazier's coming out to take a one-play break, I think.
52 yards on that burst. And you can't look away for a second with running backs like Brandon Monroe and Robert Frazier on the field.
No, they can go coast to coast at any time. And now you see Chef carrying the ball there and not favoring that ankle too much.
Boy, oh boy, that was quite a foot race down the sideline.
I didn't think LeBar could catch him, honestly.
Turn and give. He keeps after the fake to Chef, and Arnold makes the 9. So he picks up 5 on the play. It's going to bring up a 3rd and 4.
Well, once again, Frazier on the sideline holding his helmet, wanting to go back in. And let's have a look at Arnold running the bootleg here, keeping the ball. Not much.
They didn't give him all that. They spotted at the 10, just inside the 10, so we're going to call it a 3rd and 5 here with 2:05 left in the first half, clock rolling. Turn. Arnold wants to throw and gets flushed, and he's going to be dropped at about the line of scrimmage.
Well,
maybe a 1-yard gain, but that play was busted.
Well, he's fortunate he didn't take a 5-yard loss. They had great penetration at the start of that play, and I see that Coach Nixon is not going to come away empty-handed. Have a look.
He could have lost the ball holding it up high.
Yep. Certainly is. He got back to the line of scrimmage, and you see their kicker, Justin Singh, coming at in ball game. I know they can't come away here without points.
From the 17, it'll be a 27-yard attempt near hash mark. Spotted clean, plenty of distance, and the lefty strokes another one. It comes at the 1:15 mark, late second, and Elk Grove extends its lead again. We'll be right back.
Out of all the things I've done in my life and the drugs I've tried, meth was the one that I thought would put me in my grave. And it would have. If I did not have a strong family who finally stepped through the meth wall and yanked me back to life. Maybe you can help someone get their life back.
Welcome back. 1:15 left in the first half. Elk Grove neutralizes the Eagle field goal with another shot from Justin Singh, this one from 27, and they stretch back out to a 20-10 lead. In this game, Elk Grove running backs have had some breakaway plays, including a 37-yard run by Parker and a 52-yard run by Frazier and a 74-yard run by Shep. And in a misplayed kickoff here, Del Oro's going to get nothing out of their return.
Well, finally, Klein pounces on it, but let me tell you something. A type of bounding kick like that, very tough to handle, extremely tough. It's like the high hopper, bad bounce to the shortstop. That's certainly what it looked like.
The high hop, bad bounce to short. Haven't we seen enough of those? As a result, 1st and 10 for the Eagles here. Big opening up the middle. Look out. Monroe loose again, and what a terrifying vision for all Elk Grove fans.
Once again, Frazier, he's at the bottom of the pile as usual, both offensively, defensively. And I think they're going to try to get down the field as quickly as they can.
Minute to go after a 13-yard run. Del Oro to throw. Monroe's got it in the middle of the field. Runs to daylight and slips just shy of a first downer. That could have been even a bigger run.
Boy, he looks to go coast to coast.
On our flop with our guard and tackle, they might be following.
Looks like we might have a timeout here called for by Del Oro with 51 seconds remaining, and we do. So that'll give us a chance to step back and exhale. We'll be right back.
Horseradish. Is that for horses? Remember me, Mr. Lobster? From last Tuesday? Banana. 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 Here comes the rain. We need a hat. And why do we need a hat? That's right.
When you talk with your child, you build vocabulary, and learning starts long before school does. For more tips, go to bornlearning.org.
.51 seconds remaining here in the second quarter from Elk Grove High School. With Jim Domino and Bob Moffitt, I'm Will James. Happy to have you with us for this Division II semifinal round marquee matchup. Del Oro with the pill, second and less than a yard. Elk Grove on top, though, 20-10 here late in the first half. Shotgun formation, big rush, screen pass, opposite side, incomplete. Intended out there for Matier, but heavy pressure applied by two of the herdsmen, Latuli Gasanoa, and also additional pass rush help issued by Cheatham, and he had to dump it.
Very dangerous play, Will. He's trying to throw the screen to the far side, about a 35-yard pass. Very lucky.
3rd and 1. Who else? Monroe's loose. Steps away from a man. Cuts to the inside. Sidearms a man and gets to the 20. Brandon Monroe.
Wow, he's putting on the Monroe show. And they're huddling up, and Elk Grove's got to make an effort to get back. They're trying to run a play. Elk Grove's look like they're not ready.
1st and 10 from the 19. And a spike by QB Zach Labar kills the clock with 31.9. And Casey Taylor and the Brain Trust from Del Oro will talk it over on this timeout. Let's keep it right here. Imperator, they've got some time to work here, and they're into the red zone at the 19. What about play calling from here?
Well, again, he can go to play action because they got a key Monroe. And I know if you're going to run a screen to Monroe, you got to run it to the short side of the field where he can get rid of the ball quickly because he's going to be under heavy rush. So he's deep back there, and he's definitely going to throw the football now with Monroe as a wide receiver.
Slotted to the left. He's looking that way to the sideline. Incomplete. Intended for Monroe. Coverage on the play. Latuli Gasanoa.
Well,
and a clock stoppage with 24.9.
Well, here he's only got 2 downs to work with. If he's not successful here, he's got to bring in his field goal kicker, Skylar Rand. He cannot come away empty-handed.
Brandon Monroe, 114 yards, courtesy of Joe Davidson's stats. And from this point of view, it looks like he's got 314 yards the way he's running the football. Key play, up the middle running, big burst to the 5, dragging 5 players. And with 16 seconds left, they're going to have to try to kill the clock. And there's the throwdown for a stoppage. Let's take a look at the replay.
Let's have a look at this. Inside, great running Great effort carrying ball carriers with him. Outstanding run. Mark Leveron, number 34. Wow, he was carrying people with him. 5'5", 170.
Second and 2.
The way
from the 2.
Del Oro is acting like they don't have a timeout here.
The scoreboard, however, shows they have 1 remaining. Don't know, as we've got a stoppage here for unknown reasons with our game referee, Bill Cruz, again talking with Elk Grove head coach Chris Nixon, and we'll have an adjustment with the clock, which now shows an even 14 seconds.
Well, they could have 2 plays here.
Leveron came into the ball game with about 300 yards rushing and 5 touchdowns, so he's no stranger.
Well, I'll tell you what, he looked good carrying the ball up the middle. They love to run up the gut or up the middle.
Like you said, the Elk Grove D was keying Monroe. Big room for Leveron. Meantime, second and 2 from the 2, turn and give. They fake it to Monroe and throw a touchdown to the corner. Wow, on a flip to Tyler Mateer. They faked to Monroe and went upstairs for the score with 10 seconds to go in the half.
Well, fantastic. Well, you have to remember, they got the ball back with 1:15 in this quarter and having to go 80 yards drive. And Monroe.
Rand on for the PAT, spotted clean, booted, got the distance, got a bullseye. At 10 seconds, they score.
I love this call. Inside, outside, play action. Wow, outstanding work.
Frazier arriving tardily on the scene cannot prevent the TD.
Mateer protecting the ball, all 6'4" of them will. Running a good route to the outside, using his body. Ball right there. Outstanding job. The momentum in this game is changing as we approach half, Will. And you got to give the Golden Eagles credit getting that ball back with 1:15 and going 80-plus yards.
And they relied on their ace. Monroe did much of the work, but the play calling, especially with the draw to Leveron and then the goal line fake to Monroe with the flip to Mateer, outstanding brain work.
Outstanding, exactly. Coach Casey Taylor knowing you got to key Monroe. You have to key him, whether he's out wide or whether he's in your backfield. First time they tried to go to him on the far side, and Elk Grove was all over him. So once again, using Monroe as the decoy, he went away from him.
80 yards in 8 plays to beat the clock.
And exactly with
Singh's field goal was at 1:15, so about a minute.
About a minute.
Arnold fields a 2-bounder at midfield and barrels ahead where he's dropped near the Golden Eagle 45, and I'm not quite sure that's what...
That's not what they wanted. I don't think the clock moved.
8.8. It had 10 up there.
Had 10? Wow. Only a second and a fraction. Amazing.
So they spotted at the Del Oro 45 with nearly 9 seconds remaining here in the first half. But
well, coach is calling a timeout here to decide whether he's going to go to the end zone or what. With the specs that he has, don't be surprised if he runs a screen, because Parker and Frazier could go coast to coast.
Well, they are 2 of the most explosive backs in the area, and we are being treated tonight with 3 tremendous running backs being featured. And we've seen the big-time runs. Monroe, Joe Davidson just gave us the stat earlier that he had 114 yards rushing. But the Elk Grove backs, we had a 72-yard run by Sheff, a 52-yard run by Frazier, a 37-yard run by Parker, just to keep the crowd lively.
Oh, it's been and I'll tell you what, the people are getting their money's worth already at the half, Will.
Undeniably.
These are 2 good football teams in the 3rd round of the CIF playoffs. And I'll tell you, this Division II is loaded. It really is.
Well, let's see what Chris Nixon and staff have up their sleeve here with about 9 seconds remaining in the first half. 20-17, Thundering Herd on top, but Del Oro coming off the mat and recovering from an early 14-point deficit.
Tommy Arnold, again, has to be very careful here. Very careful.
Del Oro takes a timeout, and this time so will we. Stick around. We'll be right back for the conclusion of the first half.
Tick, 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 tick. Massive heat waves. Heat waves. Tick. Severe droughts. Tick, 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 tick. Devastating hurricanes. Tick, 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 tick.
Our future is up to you.
Tick.
Go to fightglobalwarming.com while there's still time.
Nice to have you with us this evening for this outstanding Division II semifinal matchup. Host Elk Grove leading at 20-17, but visiting Del Oro hot on their heels. Meantime, Arnold, shotgun, wants to throw but has to run it, works for the sideline and dances out of bounds with 1.4 left on the clock. And the Herd will have at least one more shot, but excellent downfield coverage, nobody open.
Well, at the ball of the 35-42, that'd be a 52-yard field goal. It's a little too far for Singh. Have a look at this. You see Tommy Arnold, back to pass, flushes the pocket, wisely runs out of bounds with slightly over a second left. He's got one play here.
Frazier wide to the right, Parker wide left, but whistles will stop play, and the Herd wants to talk it over one more time. Maybe they will put.
I don't think they'll put Singh in the ball game.
Play in here. Okay,
I think that,
let's come right back, Jim, and give ourselves a chance. We'll be right back to the Hometown Sports Game of the Week.
I'm feeling proud to see my son in the Navy's uniform.
From day one, he was the consummate team player. I can understand why the Navy likes Carlos.
I feel good as a father. By going to the Navy, he can get everything he wants out of life.
Carlos is cool!
Carlos sends us letters from wherever he's at, and we mark the place.
Operations Specialist 3rd Class, Carlos Guerrero, United States Navy.
Carlos has showed me a lot of opportunities in the Navy. I'm thinking about joining the Navy, too.
Touchdown, Thundering Herd. Thank you very much. No faith. Parker runs it in on a little hitch pass to the near side.
There you see that quick hitch to Parker, and they got everybody downfield, including some linemen. The ball was thrown behind, hopefully, and Parker goes in the end zone with a host of blockers in front of him. I think the officials are conferring now. They threw the flag and what the flag was for.
Waiting for clarification.
Dead ball, unsportsmanlike conduct, defense.
Well, that didn't help the Eagles any. They get scored upon with all zeros left on the clock. So the lead stretches now to 26-17. Elk Grove as they outdo the Golden Eagles by beating the clock with a touchdown. Yes, Jim?
They're going for two. Since the penalty is being administered
unsportsmanlike
now,
conduct,
There you are, only a yard and a half.
After the score, against the defense, that penalty will be assessed on the extra point, half the distance. Touchdown is good.
Thank you, Bill Cruz. As the Imperator says, they're going for 2. Boy, I'll tell you, Casey Taylor and Chris Nixon exchanging salvos here. They toss to Frazier, to the corner, dances in, untouched, and he scores the deuce. So with no time remaining in the half, Frazier runs for 2, and the Thundering Herd take a 28-17 lead into
As
the
we
locker
look at
room.
this again here, watch Parker go down the sideline.
We'll keep it right here because Bob Moffett will be tracking down one of our head coaches for a quick chat here at the beginning of the intermission on an evening that is ideal weather for late fall football, and we have a near capacity crowd here at the Elk Grove Laguna Creek Community Stadium for tonight's D2 semifinal. Bob, what you got?
Del Oro coach Casey Taylor, coach, big plays are killing you.
That last one there at the end is really big, but our kids are fighting. We'll find a way here at halftime to get back in it, but obviously we've got to contain some of those big plays.
You know, for such a big game, you guys look like you're a heck of a good time.
Oh, yeah, good teams. I just wish we could have.
You can think of right now that adjustment-wise.
We just got to keep fighting, keep doing what we're doing, take care of the football, and hopefully eliminate some big plays on their offense, and try to get this game into the fourth quarter close, and we'll see what happens.
Okay, Coach, good luck. Thank you. Taylor, Elk Grove's been running the same stuff all year, those handoffs and sweeps and tosses, and every once in a while they're breaking one. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Bob. That's where we are at the intermission. Stick around. Lots more to come this evening on the Hometown Sports Game of the Week. Right now at the intermission, Elk Grove by 11.
You are watching programming that is unique and seen only on Access Sacramento. As a 501c3 nonprofit organization, we invite your financial support. If you wish to see this program continue, ask to become a friend of Access Sacramento by calling 456-8600, extension 0. Give whatever you can afford. All donations qualify as tax deductible. We exist because you care. Call 456-8600, extension 0, and ask to become a friend of community programming, a friend of Access Sacramento.
And finally, biology. Who among you will step up to their challenge?
Me. Me too. Sign me up.
Take on the tough classes now. You need them to prepare for college.
it was Washington and Dallas. Yeah, maybe. I think it was Washington and Dallas. And if Dallas tried the onside kick, yeah, I think that's what it was.
Nice to have you with us this evening for the Hometown Sports Game of the Week. We are at the intermission here in Elk Grove, at Elk Grove High School, where the host Thundering Herd has stretched out to a 28-17 lead over visiting Del Oro. This is a D2 semifinal round matchup, one of extreme intensity. And we are only anticipating more of the same in the second half. But now let's take a look at the weekly rankings compiled by our Imperator of Analysis Hall of Famer Jim Domino and Domino's Dozen.
Okay, let's start right out with Franklin, Folsom, Elk Grove, Burbank, Oak Ridge. No changes in the top 5. Granite moving from 7 to 6. Intercom moving up from 10 to 7. Del Oro from 11 to 8. Del Campo at 9. Vista moving up from 13 to 10. Placer dropping down to 11. Antelope at 12. In the red zone, we got Pleasant Grove. Center moving up from 18. Blue,
and there you see the
center.
Blue highlight dedicated to our esteemed director, Ronicia Harris. You know her story, the former Cougar herself.
The center graduate. Yuba City at 15, Whitney 16, Rio Linda, Cosumnes Oaks at 18. El Camino, new, having a great year, finishing, I believe, 8-3 thereabouts. Rockland at number 20.
That's quite a 20, Imperator, and certainly we're working with the number 3 and the number 8 this evening. 11-1 Elk Grove, and there you see part of our terrific crowd here this evening at Elk Grove High School. And Casey Taylor's 7-5 Golden Eagles, probably the lowest win total he's had since I can ever recall, but probably the toughest schedule he's ever compiled.
Well, when you play those powerhouses like Oaks Christian and Westlake from the Los Angeles area, I mean, really, he's been in the front lines, narrowly losing to Burbank, and then a last-second field goal to Grant. As you look through that schedule, and then turning into midseason, they found themselves giving Logan their only loss of the year, Will, and then moving right along, finishing very strong, getting into the playoffs, defeating Yuba City and tough St. Mary's back-to-back. So what a finish for Casey Taylor's ball club.
Well, there's certainly one spectator tonight who's having a good dose of Thundering Herd enthusiasm, but it's been the host Herd that started quick and ended quick in the first half. In the first few minutes, they bolted to a 14-0 lead and then collected a field goal and TD in the final couple of minutes of the half to finish strong. In the middle, however, Del Oro rebounded and got their rhythm back and put together some impressive scoring drives. We got ourselves quite a ball game here.
Well, we certainly do. And of course, getting the ball back with only 14 seconds on the clock, suddenly Tommy Arnold inserted into that front line and what we call our hands receiving team, gets a very short kick, barely making the 10-yard requirement, and then runs forward for a couple of more yards, and suddenly within 14 seconds they come away. The deciding play, that hitch pass to Parker, who goes really goes to coast. If we have an opportunity to see that play again, it'd be very interesting whether he caught the ball over the line of scrimmage or behind the line of scrimmage. He had a host of blockers in front of him.
The play covered 35 yards, one of many long plays for Elk Grove in that first half. Again, they included a 72-yard run by Jones, a 53 by Frazier, another 37 by Parker. Meantime, let's take another look at some analysis applied by the Imperator. The deductions, Domino's deductions.
Okay, as you see in the first half, we got the Elk Grove defense versus Monroe. And Monroe with approximately 114, 120 yards at halftime. The Elk Grove defense is kind of defending him at times, but Mr. Monroe is in another category running north and south. Herd speed, a lot of speed, as you can see the big plays, versus the physical Eagles. And the Eagles are very physical, tackle to tackle. In the open field, very tough to handle those Elk Grove backs. Del Oro Taylor playoff. Coach Taylor has been there, done that. He's been really in the playoffs, finals, a good 6 times, won the section 3 times, won his league 7 times. Quite an experience in playoffs. Turnovers, penalties, and mistakes here certainly can hurt you, as Tommy Arnold witnessed when he threw his pick, and the penalties and mistakes, particularly the penalties on encroachment for Del Oro. That's hurt them. So there you have it. And quite frankly, we got a heck of a half, Will.
Well, we're going to turn our attention right now down to field level. Bob Moffitt will grab a few words from Chris Nixon and an evaluation on the Elk Grove side. Bob?
We have Thundering Herd coach Chris Nixon here. Coach, were you surprised that they short-kicked right before half?
Well, I kind of was, and I don't know if that was their intention to do that. I'm sure it was to get it a little further downfield. Fortunately, I've got a quarterback. They're sitting there ready to make a play, and he made a great play to put that thing 40, 45-yard line to give us a chance to put it in from there.
They've really been successful in the running game, particularly up the middle. What do you do in the second half?
We got to tackle. That's our focus, and that's what we've told these guys. We've got to tackle. We've got a defensive end, Canada, that went out with a broken wrist, so that hurt us a little bit. But we've got guys ready to step in and make plays.
Okay, good luck in the second half.
Thank you.
All right. There you have it. Elk Grove up. Del Oro certainly spirited in this contest.
Thank you very much, Bob. Spirited indeed. Let's go ahead and filter down a couple of halftime scores for you. They may raise some eyebrows. Granite Bay 30 and Franklin 7 and Folsom 35-6 over Buhawk Colony.
Well, the last one doesn't surprise me, Will. I know Buhawk Colony year in, year out has great teams, but I haven't seen a team defend the Folsom Aerial Circus. Have you?
No, I haven't, and there may not be one this year, but Chris Richardson and certainly Troy Taylor's Aerial Circus, formidable to say the least, and as you say, unstoppable thus far. But what a shock for Wildcat fans with Granite Bay 30-7 over top-ranked and undefeated Franklin at the intermission. Mike Johnson's club has a long way to come back.
They sure have. Of course, Granite Bay peaking at the right time, being against a very tough schedule. And, of course, that game's not over yet, but I'll tell you what, Granite Bay's been playing great defense, has great playoff experience, and peaking at the right time, defending the title that they won last year. And Coach Cooper and his assistants doing a great job over there. As we get ready here for the second half kickoff, we had a lot of points scored here at the first half. A lot more than people thought, 28-17 here at the half.
And responding to the Granite Bay huge lead over Franklin, Joe Davidson has just given us some further inside information. Their top 3 running backs for the Wildcats, those great backs that we've seen 3 times this year, all injured. And one of their top defensive linemen also on the shelf. So it must be said that Mike Johnson's ball club playing at far from full capacity. Injuries just ravaging their key players, particularly the running backs.
Well, certainly that would hurt them. That would hurt them immensely because all year long they've helped carry a very speedy ball club. Coach Johnson and his staff doing a great job running into, like I say, Granite Bay peaking at the right time.
Joe has just given us some rushing totals for the quality backs we've seen here tonight. Monroe, 114 in the first half. Frazier, 76. Parker, 43. Chef, 77. And Arnold chipping in with 20. So about 200 yards rushing in the first half for the Herd. And here's the Elk Grove kickoff. Sing. And we'll see who comes up with that one. So Del Oro is going to have some excellent field position here. And they got stung at the end of the first half with no time remaining. Burnt for a touchdown.
Well, they started that play with 1.4 prior to the snap on that last second play prior to the half.
1st and 10 for the Eagles from their 43. Short yardage to the 44. So they're giving Monroe all he can handle in the carries department. And Casey Taylor certainly had a clarification indicating he would give him the pill as often as necessary. Fake the draw. Wow. LeBar goes down.
Wow, that's unfortunate. They had a great fake to Monroe and a bootleg pass play underway, which would have surprised them on second down. I'm not glad to see him take the loss, but glad to see a pass attempt on second down.
Here's another look at it.
There
a
you
stumble
say,
there.
Lamar.
They may have got their feet tangled. It brings up a 3rd and 14 from the 38. Perhaps a passing play. Monroe also a dangerous receiver. Backfield pretty empty right now. They screen the other way, and it's a drop. Tough luck for Mateer and the Eagles. 4th and 14.
Well, yes, you see the punt team come in now for Del Oro, and it's 3 and out, something that you don't see much of. And you certainly, it's tough enough to score, let alone get the ball back in the hands of the Herd.
So punt formation shown by the Eagles and Skylar Rand. He'll be booting outside the Eagle 25. A casual step up. Nice high driving punt. And Parker backs up and lets it roll, and it's going to be down just outside the Herd 20.
Well, it'll be interesting to see this first offensive series. Started the ball game, we never expected Tommy Arnold to come out throwing, and he did. And I think that surprised certainly the Golden Eagles, figuring that they're going to come in and stop the run and force them to pass, and Elk Grove surprising them with some play-action successful passes by Tommy Arnold.
Absolutely surprised him, and a big part of that 14-0 start. Meantime, toss to Frazier, slips through a hole, crosses the 25, has himself a 5-yard pickup.
Well, 5 yards, he makes that look like nothing, putting them in a 2nd and 5, and first down football is huge. And Coach Taylor said, hey, we've got to contain them on first down, and I mean less than 5. So here we are with a good 5.5-yard gain right off the get-go.
Tyler Wharton thought he had Frazier, but he slipped right through his arms. Again, Frazier working outside, runs into heavy containment. He's shy of a first. He gets a couple on the play. Harryford, part of that stop for the Eagles, along with Huddick.
Well, here we go. Let's have a look at that. And good job by Del Oro containing him for a couple of yards. Really taking care of that off-tackle hole, filling it up. Key 3rd and I'll call it a short 2 here, Will.
So Wright and Parker dispatched to the right side, but a flag flies out. I should have said Elijah Jones.
Well, I thought they're moving early. Definitely moving the Herd.
Ball start. Offense. 5-yard penalty remains. 3rd down.
Well, they tried to go quickly then, and again, I put the brunt of that on quarterback Arnold. He's got to make sure his backfield and line are set for one full count.
3rd and 7 from the 24. Near hash mark, and whistles are going to prevent this play as a marker comes out.
Yeah, they ran a safety blitz with Monroe blitzing then, timing it, and it looked like the Herd is moving again.
Dead ball. Ball start.
And
Offense.
just as the
5-yard
Imperator
penalty
said,
remains 3rd down.
the Herd moving again. -5. Consecutive 5-yard penalties. Moving the football back to the Elk Grove 19-yard line, where it becomes 3rd and 12.
Well, they may run that hitch here to one of their speed backs. And look at Frazier flanked out here one-on-one.
Quick snap. Big running room. Parker's loose to the near sideline and finally shoved out of bounds on a late bump by Hereford, but he's got first down yardage.
Well, I'll tell you something. The old saying is no substitute for speed, and there you see it. You know, you may stop one occasionally, but between Frazier and Parker, there's a ton of speeds. That's not even counting Chef, who's no slowpoke.
17 on the ground for Parker. He's now rushed for 60. Parker again, big hole, markers out. Here's a foot race. Don't know if they'll catch him. Wow, he stepped right over that. He's into the end zone. They signal touchdown, Thundering Herd, but we'll see about the penalty.
Well, LeBar tried to throw a body block, knock him out of bounds, and missed his body block on about the 10-yard line.
I guess you could say he missed. It was perfect form, but Parker stepped over it. It looks like it may be coming back, and Bill Cruz has the call.
Well, Coach Nixon is quite upset, and that Elk Grove bench is quite upset, to say the least.
So the 64-yard touchdown scamper by Parker is erased. No, they pick it up. Touchdown, Thundering Herd. They walk it all the way back and then pick it up.
I don't know what happened at that short conference to make that flag get tossed or waved. That is interesting.
Well, Parker runs for 64, tack that on to his previous 60. He's over 100, and the Herd blast back onto the scoreboard to now lead it 34-17. Wow.
That is amazing because the Herd was going back into the huddle.
Casey Taylor visibly upset. Singh has been busy, and he's been perfect.
Well, Casey Taylor wants to know over there, watch this play, as you see some great blocking by the wideout, and Parker going with his speed, and watch LeBar trying to throw a block, and he runs right over him, hurdles over him, and into the end zone. Now, Casey Taylor's upset. Here's another look. Watch him going down. LeBar with the last chance, and his high steps right over him. Now, Casey Taylor's upset because when they waved the flag, no explanation was brought to the other side.
It was just about the identical spot on the field early in the football game where LeBar was able to prevent Frazier from going all the way with a similar type diving block down. It was a 53-yard run, but he did stop the TD. That time, Parker stepped right over him, but Casey Taylor looking for further clarification and does not receive it.
Well, Parker with back-to-back runs here, one on a pass reception and one on a great run. And I'll tell you, one with 1.4 seconds on the clock, and the second one here back-to-back with 8:51 on the clock. That'll put a fear into anyone. Wow.
Well, the touchdown with no time remaining at the half. And then the quick strike here, tough to recover from. The bounding, ensuing kickoff, fielded near the 30. Here's a breakaway down the far sideline into Elk Grove territory to the Herd 47 or 48.
Well, that's a great run back over there. Great return, putting him in good field position.
Hereford with the quick feet sets up Del Oro nicely.
Third Hereford, a very nice return, putting the ball in the Herd territory at the 48. Let's see if Del Oro can do something on offense this time.
For Golden Eagle fans, it's absolutely necessary to counter that score. It's a long way to go, but the deficit is large. Monroe slips 2 tackles, power and speed together. And he's finally dropped just outside the 25.
Well, he goes vertical north-south, Will, and he's got a great burst. And like you said, he uses his weapons. Look at the power run here, just right up the middle. There he is, evading tacklers, yards after contact. He does it all. Look at that. There's an example of one of the top backs in the area, barring none.
Add 25 to his 114. Oh boy, heavy gang tackling.
Well, they held him to 4 or 5 on that one. Like you said, they needed a lot of help. He's a pleasure to watch.
He's about as tough as they come. Another look.
Let's look at that. Monroe here. They put a man in motion leading him up. They use an H-back system where that tight end is like a roving blocker.
Shift in the backfield, turn, give it to Monroe, working outside. He takes on the containment. Well done by the Elk Grove defense. He makes the 20, and they need 3 more.
Elk Grove did a nice job there, stringing that play out, limiting him to maybe a yard, and they're in 4-down territory. So certainly, as we look at that play, you're not used to seeing Monroe running outside like that, trying to turn the corner. Not easy to do against his speed defense.
No, it's not. Boom! Tagged in the backfield, nowhere to go. Major penetration and a solid solo hit. Well done on that play by Cheatham.
Well, great defensive effort there.
Loss of 2, 4th and 6. The big play, fake to Monroe, look to throw over the middle. Wow! An amazing reception right there by Kyle Wells.
Wow.
In between 3 or 4 Elk Grove defenders. Let's take another look.
Number 10, Wells, coming in this game. Look at this catch. What an effort. Gets hit after, comes into this game with 4 catches, 66 yards. That's probably his catch of the year.
No question. In between 3 defenders with a 4th one nearby. 6.5 to go, clock rolling midway 3rd. Monroe, break it hard to the goal line. Touchdown, Golden Eagles from 12 yards out. Right down the field, Del Oro answering the Elk Grove touchdown. Let's take another look.
Let's watch this. This is a lot of power running. They go heavy, put a 2-man in motion right, 1-man in motion. Watch him inside, outside, stiff arm, keeps his feet moving, and stretches out, breaking the plane.
PAT on the way. Got it. At 6:24, midway 3rd, Del Oro answers. 35-24, Elk Grove. We got a ball game. We'll be right back.
Amazing grace.
How sweet the sound that saved.
A crackhead,
drug addict,
alcoholic, meth freak,
a rich, like me.
I once was
Homeless,
broken, sad,
just lost. But now I am sober,
happy.
I'm found. Was blind, but now I see.
Every day, shattered lives are restored thanks to the goods you donate to the Salvation Army.
$52 yards in 6 plays as the Golden Eagles come down the field to pull within 11 here. Long way to go. And they did, in fact, answer the call with a necessary touchdown on that possession.
Well, like you said, Will, they are 7-7 in the second half.
So Mason Humes with the kickoff, high but shy of the goal line from the 9. Jones retreating, nowhere to go, surrounded. He steps through traffic and gets away. Look out. Elijah Jones, very dangerous, needs more touches.
To me, he looks like he could be as dangerous as Parker and company. What a kick return specialist is he.
He is as dangerous. Football parked at the Elk Grove 36 when it looked like a disastrous scenario.
Jones, trap, reverses his field. A lot of white jerseys chasing him. Look at that move. Breaks tackles and picks up a sizable gain.
Spencer Sheff has the pill and shakes off the sprained ankle and lunges across the 40 to the 41. Pick up of 5, 2nd and 5.
Well, you don't see him carry very often, but even as a sophomore, he looks like a true warrior. Not worried about injuries. Not worried about how many yards he gets for the night, but what a blocker.
Clock rolling, 5:40, flip side of quarter number 3. Turn and give. Straight ahead blast is going to gain a couple, but shy of first down yardage. They make the 43, and it's going to leave them 3 yards short. So a key play for the Del Oro defense, needing a stop.
Let's have a look at that give to Parker in there. Not much room to go.
Major play here. First down and more. Shake and bake with Wattis Parker. And the Herd will have a first down.
Well, the Herd right now moving the clock and moving the football, I should say. Staying on the ground, not necessary for them to go to the air.
So Parker carries for 6, and he's had a splendid ball game. Often playing in the shadow of Frazier. Is really stepping out on his own tonight in a crucial semifinal. Out of the eye, toss to Parker. Eludes one man but gets drilled for a loss. There was nowhere to go. Eagles everywhere.
There certainly was. Huddick was right there, almost putting him down in the backfield. He managed to escape. He would have had a 5-yard loss, and instead of still gained a yard on that play with penetration by Huddick.
So they lose 2, 2nd and 12, 4:19 to go. Third period slipping away here from
very weak
Elk Grove Laguna Creek Community Stadium. The host Thundering Herd have led wire to wire, jumping out 14-0. Del Oro closing within a score a couple times, but Elk Grove stretching back out, now leading 35-21. Delay of game will cost the Herd 5.
Second down.
Once again, quarterback Arnold going to the sideline every play, and Coach Nixon wanting to tell him exactly what he wants done.
Moment of decision. That may be the break Del Oro is looking for. It's a 2nd and 17. Major crossroads here. Sheff bites off a nice gain and gets within about 12 of a first down. He reaches the 47 or so.
Well, he did get the penalty back. He got the yards back, putting him in the 3rd and 11. Now, once again, Arnold on the sideline with Coach. Doesn't look like Frazier in the game, getting a break here.
In just about every instance where it's been a long passing down, apparent passing down, Elk Grove has outguessed Del Oro.
Well, they certainly have.
Arnold, this is a busted play with whistles before the throw.
Tommy Arnold is anxious to get the ball snapped, and I thought they weren't set.
Dead ball. Ball start. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Remains 3rd down.
3rd and 17 from the 42 upcoming.
Well,
and again, it's that crossroads time in the ballgame with 3:16 left
when
in the
Tommy
third.
Arnold is going to pass, he really wants to get the snap early before the defense gets reps tonight. And they've got to set for a second, and it's hurt them because they had 3 illegal procedures, and he could have stopped them all. They weren't necessarily peopled by him not letting the offense set for 1 full count.
3 minutes, 16 seconds left
set
here.
up to go to Parker here again.
Quick hitch, penalty marker out, same play to Parker. Defended this time. We'll see about the penalty as he's dropped in Del Oro territory at the Eagle 47. Penalty, penalty, penalty. The white cap there, Bill Cruz and his crew have been busy this evening.
Well, it's amazing, bringing everybody in for the conference.
Illegal form procedure, not enough on the line, offense.
Well, when Parker goes to the slot and they run that formation, that can't happen. They broke that play before the half, and they went back to the same play in the same formation, and now Frazier back in.
3rd and 22 from the 37. Penalty, 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 penalty.
Okay.
So they dispatch Frazier out wide to the near side, double wides to the far. And Del Oro couldn't ask for anything more than this and to get back into the ballgame situation. Direct snap and a slip down. Nothing doing to Parker, and Del Oro is in business. Let's check in with Bob Moffitt. What you got for us, Bob?
Elk Grove, number 4, Robert Frazier, was being tended to on the sideline by medical staff, complaining of discomfort in his right knee, but only when he walks, not when he sprints. So they send him back in, and he says he's ready to go.
Punt formation shown by Elk Grove. Big rush, but he gets it away. Nice job on that. Takes a lateral bounce and then backward bounce, and it's down to the 42.
Wow.
Good shape for Del Oro where they take over.
Certainly was. That was blockable, Will. And he got that off, but didn't get much out of that. Del Oro in great field position now with a short field.
You see a concerned Chris Nixon there that is not an expression or a posture of pleasure or positivity, as he has given Del Oro, I should say, the game has turned to the point where Del Oro now has great field position and some momentum after scoring on their last possession.
There they go, unbalanced left. There they go. They run that unbalanced.
Monroe to the left side. Gain of 3 to the 44. Gain of a couple anyway.
Well, they've run that the last couple of 2 or 3 series, Will, what the coaches call heavy left, heavy right, which essentially is unbalanced. And they run to that. They have not run a counter back to the weak side off that set.
Gain of 3 to the 44, 2nd and 7. Triple wide receivers to the near side. Quick hitch, right side, a quick pop. Mateer splits the defense and gets ahead near first down yardage into Elk Grove territory at the Herd 48. First down, Golden Eagles.
Well, they have to do more of that and not wait till 3rd down. That's an excellent 1st or 2nd down call. There you go. Good block by the wideout, picking up the necessary yards. It's a high percentage play.
Turn and give. Monroe's loose for another first down, a gain of 12 or so to the Elk Grove 46.
Well, once again, you see Brandon move the chains, Monroe. Going forward, vertical like normal, probably nearing close to 200 yards in this game. Have a look at this. Monroe off tackle, following his blockers, inside, outside, and constantly going forward.
Gain of 12, clock rolling. Minute 10 to go, late 3rd, but Del Oro on the move, trailing 35-24. There's a shift, turn and give. Monroe stacked and dropped. 2 defenders were in the hole. He gets ahead for maybe a bit of a yard or no gain. They spotted it to the 36, no gain.
Once again, after the shift to the heavy left and still running left, he's got to run some play action off that. Have a look. Definitely going off tackle left, and Elk Grove is in a position to stop it.
Spencer Sheff with the initial hit. Monroe works right.
Well, he picked up a few, but those are tough yards because right now Elk Grove looks like they're slanting to the heavy set. And, you can run that once too often.
Gain of 5, 3rd and 5.
Unbalanced right, pull a guard. What you're looking at there is not only unbalanced when that guard pulls, they only got one guy left on the other side.
Clock rolling, last 10 seconds of the quarter, and Del Oro elects not to run a play. We have played 3 from Elk Grove High in this D2 semifinal. The Herd 35, Del Oro 24. We'll be right back and more of the Hometown Sports Game of the Week.
Ready. 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 Ready.
It can be a little awkward when your friend tells you he's been diagnosed with a mental illness. But what's even more awkward is, if you're not there for him, he's less likely to recover.
I'm here to help, man, whatever it takes.
There you see it by the numbers. Elk Grove by 11, but this is still anybody's ball game. Del Oro faced with a key 3rd and 5 from the Elk Grove 31. Have to believe it's certainly 4-down territory.
Oh, yeah.
And they've got definite momentum right now.
Very definitely 4-down territory. And my question is, with them going to the heavy set or the unbalanced set over and over again, will they run something back weak? Here they are with 3 wides.
Turn and give. Big hole, big room. First down, Del Oro. Monroe, Captain Blast.
Well, I'll tell you what. I like what they did. They were in a twin wide. They ran a motion to a trips wide and ran Monroe back. I like this call.
Gain of 6, just what they needed. Del Oro on the move, nearing the red zone. Monroe works right and gets tripped up on a cutback, but makes the 21.
Well, it looks to me like there's some what we call submarining going on with that front 3 in the defense of Elk Grove because they're giving away a lot of size to the Del Oro front. So Jamie Cruz, Vila, and replacement there for Canada out right now, kind of root hogging in there, trying to clog up that middle.
Gain of a couple, 2nd and 8. Monroe slips on a cutback after getting inside the 20 to the 19 or so, and it's going to bring up a 3rd and long.
Well, it's unfortunate because it looked like he had another 3 or 4 yards in front of him, Will. He tried to make a cut there, and let's have a look at that.
They spot it at the 20.
Well, they're picking up that flag and marching it off against them as well.
Yep. A costly hold. Let's see if the Eagles can overcome it. We're in the first minute of the 4th quarter. Del Oro has been playing catch-up all evening. And badly in need of a score on this possession. They're down 11. Just under 11 minutes remaining. Quadruple wide receivers to the left. A straight run off the direct snap. Gets it to the 25.
Well, it's a surprising quarterback draw, getting the yardage back, but still putting him now in the 3rd and 10. Surprise call here by offensive coordinator Dietrich. Really have a look at that as you see LeBar take it straight ahead, getting that penalty yards back, but still forced down here in four down territory, 3rd and 10.
He really got thumped by Spencer Sheff right there. Major play, 3rd, a long 10. LeBar all day, now rushed hard, and he's going to be sacked. And may be injured as he probably rolled an ankle on that solo tackle. Latuli Gasanoa with the pursuit, and LeBar may be injured.
Well, he not only got sacked, he got twisted. And as we take a look at this, LeBar trying to flush the pocket and look downfield. Meanwhile, he got tossed right around by
ankle.
Noah. Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. Look at this.
Or a knee.
Watch this. He gets tossed.
We are not going to speculate, but we definitely have a fallen Zach LeBar. We're going to come right back to Elk Grove High School following this timeout. Stay with us.
Packers. Vikings. Packers. Vikings. Packers.
Red state. Blue state. Vegan.
Carnivore.
We come from different places.
Uptown. Downtown.
Optimist.
We come to different conclusions.
Half empty.
Half full.
But when we live united, we create real, lasting change in the building blocks of life. The education, income, and health of our communities,
Live.
our families,
United.
even the person next to us.
Live united.
Real change won't happen without you. So give, advocate, volunteer, live united. Sign up at liveunited.org.
Welcome back. Another look at the preceding play with LeBar being tackled, rolling out. He's still being attended to, as you can see there. 3 trainers on the field and a 4th member of the Del Oro staff. Certainly hope that's not as serious as it is initially looking. And maybe you can even give us one more look as he's being helped to his feet. Getting a nice hand. Okay. Thank you, replay staff.
Well, that's a nice look there, looking like possible ankle or knee or a bit of both. He got twisted and turned by Noah Latuli-Gasanoa.
Well, it brings up a 4th and 21.
Yeah, and of course they bring in quarterback Moore, number 16, Michael Moore.
What a spot to be inserted. You better be ready. Shotgun. He loses the pill, pulling it back to throw, and it's going to be an incomplete pass, and the ball goes over.
Well, unfortunately, being on the sidelines, he could have cold hands, and ball slipped, obviously. Look at this. Here you see Michael Moore back to pass, and just as he's about to throw it, just slips out of his hand.
So the herd takes over, 1st and 10 from the 35. Frazier escapes, comes to the near side, gets a couple on a desperation. Let's take another look.
Let's look at this again. He evades that one, and now watch him go down. And there was a huge running lane there. That's why he's pounding the turf, knowing that he wanted to get more yardage out of that play.
Gain of 2, 2nd and 8. Here's a toss. Frazier slips one man, dances ahead, makes the 40 or 41 before he's shoved back. And it's going to bring up a 3rd and 4.
Parker getting up slowly, but he's getting a break here. Frazier getting up slowly, as you see him get picked up inside by a host of Del Oro tacklers, and now Parker back in the ball game.
Wharton in on the stop there for Del Oro. 3rd and 4 now, the big play. Chef has the pill, gets outside, cuts it for a 1st down, and a lot more as he's finally dropped just outside the Del Oro 40 at the 43.
Well, I like the call by Elk Grove. I really do. They give the ball to Chef, who normally runs inside. They skirt him around left end. Look at this. They're set up. Everybody thinks Parker's going to get the ball, and he gives that ball to the fullback and skirts the left end. Nice job again, and he's been a tremendous player for them on both ends of the ball. Spencer Chef, not playing like a sophomore, playing like a veteran.
Time really squeezing the Golden Eagles now with about 7.5 to go in the ball game. Parker bumped and stacked, but he gets ahead for a couple. Let's go down to Bob Moffett. He's got news for us. Bob?
Well, you want to talk about changing fortunes for Del Oro. They made that fantastic pass play inside the red zone that led to a touchdown, and now Zach Labar goes down with an ankle, but they're taping it up. He says it feels weak, but it doesn't hurt. They're going to give it a go.
Well, it's interesting. When Del Oro gets the ball back, apparently Labar is going to try it. And when they get back on offense,
that's what we call a gamer. Parker. Well, I have to believe that Frazier's injury has kept him with limited action, though he's returning to the field. 3rd and long upcoming.
Now Parker kind of with a semi-limp going off. Let's have a look at Parker. Nowhere to go. Tries to bounce it outside, and the Eagles are ready for him.
Well, there's some tremendous hitting going on down there. All these players are beat up.
Well, it's this time of the year, and 2 physical teams out there.
Chef dropped.
They fake that toss to Frazier and come back with an inside trap, and now I think that Elk Grove will wisely punt the ball away.
4th and 6.
Have a look at this. They fake the toss to Frazier, come back and hand the ball off to Chef inside on that fullback trap.
They show punt formation. Clock rolling with 5:40 left in this one. Del Oro running out of time. Good snap. Wobbly kick to the near sideline.
Wow.
Bounding that way and finally downed. Del Oro will have field position at their 33. Well, Casey Taylor's Golden Eagles are going to have to fly high from here on out in the final 5:27, down by 11.
Well, here comes Labar, and actually jogging in, he looked pretty good. I watched him for the time he left the bench there, and he's got taped up, and he's going to give it all he can.
Row, a gain of 2 to the 35.
Once again, they've got to go to play action here. The clock running against them. 5 minutes and 14 seconds on the clock. They can ill afford to just run because the clock is running, unfortunately.
Want to remind you that we'll be announcing our players of the game in a little while, and Bob Moffett will be speaking with them in our postgame. Right now, big rush. Latuli Gassanoa with the hit, but not before the pass is completed. Shy of a 1st down, however, but it will bring up 4th and about 1 or 2.
Well, it should be 3rd and 1, and Labar going out of the ball game. LeBar limping off, but coming back on. Not much room there for Monroe to break it.
That didn't work.
Well, they've got to go for fourth down. They will not punt the ball, I guarantee you. They will not punt the ball, and they were waiting. They were waiting on Monroe. I don't see them punting. I could be wrong. With this little time left on the clock, I don't believe they give the ball back.
A huge 4th and 3 from the Del Oro 40. He keeps it. LeBar has the first and more, spins away, and gets inside the Elk Grove 45.
Well, that's a gutsy clutch run by LeBar. You got to give him credit. I'll tell you, he's gimping, lining, and he'll feel it in the morning, but I guarantee you he's going to lay it on the line here. Number 11, Zach LeBar, the senior, is putting it on the line in his perhaps last ball game.
Out of the shotgun, LeBar has all night to throw, now gets flushed, gets away, makes a yard or two to avoid the sack, but time running out at the 3:12.
Watch this replay. LeBar back to throw, flushes the pocket left, and really not much to go to, and nursing that sore ankle, hobbling about, but giving everything he can here with 2nd and long.
Clock rolling at the 2:43. LeBar again, plenty of time. Crossing pattern, incomplete. A high strike.
Wide open. Cody Ott, wide open. Wow, right on the money. Good pass by LeBar. .235 on the clock and 3rd and 9. Have a look at this.
This was a high strike. Arms
They
fully extended. Fully extended.
Wow.
Not a perfect strike. Monroe hit on a draw.
That time they were waiting for fullback 33, Frankham Clark, down to 4th down. Elk Grove down to 4th down here.
And the Elk Grove defense getting a cheer from the crowd. What do you think, Jim?
Well, obviously, they've got to throw the football, and I don't know if he'll go to the screen, and I'll give LeBar credit. It's hard to have him. It's hard for him to set his feet up under him and be on balance when he's hurting. It was a great clutch run on the quarterback draw, but now it's 4th and 9. Will they get the ball in the hands of their franchise player? And I'm looking for number 32, obviously, Brandon Monroe. He is in the game. Will they get the ball to him short and let him do what he does well?
2:26 left in this one. Next week, we're hoping
now
to bring you...
They're playing him real loose. They may throw the quick hitch to Monroe. They're playing him very loose there.
4th and 9. All or nothing. He stands in and has a hookup along the near sideline. Let's see where they mark him. A clutch strike delivered to Becker.
Well, you said, where's he been? You said that, Will, and they finally went to Becker. Danny Becker coming into this game with 26 catches. Clutch play right here.
A Again, they go upstairs to the mini back who's impressed us earlier, Mark Leveron. Mini gain on that, but precious seconds ticking off at 1:55. Gain of 3, second 7. Football at the Herd 27 out of the shotgun. Overthrown is Tyler Mateer. 3rd and 7.
Once again, Zach LeBar on the ground as he's under heavy pressure from that Elk Grove defense. That front 4 giving him heat. Jaime Cruz in particular. Vila, heavy pressure.
Well, I got to give LeBar a lot of credit for getting up off the deck.
Oh, yeah.
Shaking off that injury.
Without a doubt.
Running the football and showing some great gamesmanship.
Oh, yeah. He's going out in style and putting it on the line.
3rd and 7. Del Oro needs a quick strike and then an onside kick recovery to hang in this game. 1:40 to go. LeBar looks left, goes right. Incomplete as he misses his intended receiver with the high throw.
Well,
out to
4th and 8. Their receivers are wide open because Elk Grove is playing pretty much prevent and giving a big cushion. Now, they don't want to give up the deep ball. So the short receivers are open. And if he gets the ball there early enough, they'll have a chance to run 5 or 10 yards after the catch and move the chains. He's got to get the ball to him early. Because as you see, they're playing off. Look at this. 10 yards off. Then it's one-on-one.
It's come down to cases on 4th and 7 for the Golden Eagles. Big rush. A strike over the middle, and he's got enough for the first down, I believe, to about the 16 or 17-yard line. Move the stakes. Clutch under fire.
LeBar should spike it.
And does to stop it. Well, they lost 2 seconds right there after the spike at 1:22. They got stung for a couple seconds there, no question. Here's another look at that emergency route. So a play comes in from the sideline on 2nd and 10. Del Oro being squeezed by the scoreboard and by the clock. Here at Elk Grove, the Herd on top, 35-24. Coming down the stretch with the whip. Throw to the end zone, broken up. Chef backpedaling, had the linebacker coverage on a deep drop. Third and 10 from the 17. Let's take another look.
Let's look here. There you see LeBar back to throw. He's going to the end zone. Almost picked off by the defender there.
That was Guy Hall. Let me correct myself on that with the breakup, bringing up the 3rd and 10. To the right sideline, wide open, boom! Frazier delivers the big-time hit on Michael Moore. And the clock stops at 1:08. Let's take another look at that hit.
Big time hit over there.
Well, he got his timbers shivered pretty good right there on the blindside job. 1st and goal from the 6. To the right side, touchdown Golden Eagles. It comes at the 56-second mark. And the Never Say Die Golden Eagles on the board again, courtesy of Brandon Monroe, his 3rd score of the ball game. And as he's very close to another superlative 200-yard rushing effort. I should say total yardage effort. Also an outstanding receiver. Going for two. Eagles shift. Turning. Fake to Monroe. Wow. To the end zone. They've got the two as LeBar hung in there tough and took the hit. Zach LeBar.
Boy, I'll tell you something. Put an asterisk by his name, Will. He's letting it all on the line. He's leaving it on the field. A tremendous effort. There he is with a bad ankle limping off. LeBar giving everything he can.
It pulls the Eagles within 3 at 35-32. And one can only wonder how this game would have played out if, let's take a look here. What if?
Great effort. Watch LeBar here shaking off people in his face. Will not go down. There you have it. In
nice
the end zone.
grab, Mateer with the grab. And let's check in with Bob Moffitt. Bobby?
Now, if Del Oro gets the ball back, they'll have about 50 seconds left, but they say they should have more. They've been complaining to the refs all night about getting squeezed on the clock, saying the clock has been rolling when it shouldn't have been. They say there should be at least a minute on the clock right now.
Well, we've noticed the very same thing. Thank you, Bob. No mistake about it. Clearly observed. Let's see what the Eagles can do.
That was questionable prior to the half.
Onside kick, not quite going the distance, and they really needed to make that happen. And that will just about seal the fate in this wild and woolly Division II semifinal battle between two of the elite football programs in this region over the past 2 decades.
Well, I don't think a lot of people in the area expected this kind of scoring when you got two tough physical defensive teams like this. But I'll tell you what, there were no holes barred in this game. Certainly, the crowd got their money's worth, and here we are with 50 seconds to go, and not checking on the number of timeouts here. I believe 2 timeouts, but I'm not certain on that, remaining for Del Oro.
Well, 54 seconds remaining, and let's go ahead and see how the Herd wants to play this out. Frazier's loose and dragged down after running for 10. Well, lots of pride out there on both sides and some demonstration to go with it. Unnecessary, but unavoidable.
Watch Frazier break loose here, like he's done all night. Great second effort, constantly going north-south. Timeout called by Del Oro.
Nice tackling effort by Theron Hereford. Gain of 9, 2nd and 1, 46 seconds left. Now this has been a crazy ball game in many regards. I want to let you in on this little tease. Of course, the final round coming up in 1 week's time. And we ourselves not quite certain how, where, or who. But naturally we'll keep you informed as and when that information is
Del Oro has got to be proud of this, Willie. They have scored twice here, to only once to Elk Grove in the second half.
I'm quite sure everybody on the Del Oro side is really wondering about what they probably feel were a couple of gift touchdowns they gave away in this game, but what a game it has been. Turn and give. Frazier spins away from a man, gets the first down, and has a carry to the 28.
Well, that's pretty much going to do it there, Will. With 40 seconds on the clock and first down, certainly they can take a knee here.
Well, this crowd certainly was treated to a wild ball game tonight, worthy of the caliber of these players. Timeout taken. Chris Nixon out to talk to his offensive unit, and it'll be interesting to see and hear some of the comments in the postgame with Bob Moffitt. But let's take a little break, and we'll come back. More of the Hometown Sports Game of the Week. That was the quickest timeout in world history, as Elk Grove merely took a recommendation from head coach Chris Nixon. Rather than take 60 seconds, it was more like 6 seconds. So they're lined up, ready to run a play and finish this ball game off. A kneel down by Arnold, and the clock will roll here at 35 seconds, and I doubt if we'll have much more in this ball game. Another kneel down, and that is game. Elk Grove holding on, you might say. They led wire to wire, jumped out 14-0, sustained a Del Oro push, and
they
come away with a 35-32 victory in a ball game punctuated by many exciting plays, numerous penalties, mild controversy, and dramatic victory for the hosts. Elk Grove now will advance to the Division II section final ball game, and with the Imperator checking the bracket, they'll face the winner of the what you got?
Well, they're going to have to face that aerial circus, I believe.
It'll be at Folsom handling Boo Hawk Colony, so we'll see how the Thundering Herd pass defense will do next week. But here tonight, as we see the sportsmanship on the field, two ball clubs with great respect for one another. Tough conclusion for Casey Taylor's Del Oro Golden Eagles, and Chris Nixon's Thundering Herd sustains for another week to march into the D2 finals.
Well, everything was big in this game. We had some tremendous plays, Will, and great hits. A big, hard-hitting, physical game, a lot of scoring, a lot of big plays. Certainly none bigger than the play with 1.4 seconds left at the half, when Parker just about ran through everybody under a parade of blockers and bounced in the end zone with a score with nothing left on the clock. This was huge because in the second half, Elk Grove was outscored 15-7 in the second half of this football game. They got one early in the third quarter, and then the balance of this half, they were scoreless after that.
Now that was the play you'd have to point to, the decisive play. I'm quite sure Del Oro's wondering really how that could have happened to them after they drove the field and scored, only to give up a touchdown that was racked up with no time left on the clock.
Well, I'm sure they'd like to have the kickoff again, because the kickoff went right to Tommy Arnold, who has had their hands team in there, and little did they expect that the ball would only go 10 yards.
They set him up with a first down at the 45-yard line. Lots more to come tonight on our post-game segment. Our Bob Moffitt will be visiting with our players of the game, and we'll let you know who they are when we come back to Elk Grove High School at the Elk Grove Laguna Creek Community Stadium. More to come.
I was just driving around, minding my own business, when it came out of nowhere. Suddenly there were lights all around me. I'm like, they're coming for me. Yeah, it was crazy. I just never thought they'd find me. Not out here.
It doesn't matter where you drive. If you don't buckle up, you will get caught. Cops are cracking down all across the country. Click it or ticket.
The calendar hypnosis into thumbtack cushion completely tailwind. And sewing elephants plant before cartoon paper cups. So numbers renovate.
If your teenager is trying drugs, would you know the right words to use?
Afterward, lightly fish scale. Doorbell.
Find out what to say at drugfree.org from the Partnership for a Drug-Free America.
You are watching programming that is unique and seen only on Access Sacramento. As a 501c3 nonprofit organization, we invite your financial support. If you wish to see this program continue, ask to become a friend of Access Sacramento by calling 456-8600, extension 0. Give whatever you can afford. All donations qualify as tax deductible. We exist because you care. Call 456-8600, extension 0, and ask to become a friend of community programming, a friend of Access Sacramento.
The verdict is in, and the decision is final in Elk Grove this evening at Elk Grove High School, the Elk Grove Laguna Creek Community Stadium, where in a key D2 semifinal round matchup, host Elk Grove hangs on to defeat game and pesky Del Oro by a final count of 35-32. Back with Jim Domino, I'm Will James. We were certainly treated to a wild and woolly ball game full of excitement, big plays, and a contest that came down to the final minute before being finally decided, and it was a wild one indeed. Our players of the game this evening, two outstanding efforts in a game that had many outstanding efforts. Brandon Monroe, the Del Oro Golden Eagles' tremendous running back and defensive back, and Wadis Parker, W-A-D-U-S, of the Elk Grove Thundering Herd, a key two-way starter for them as well, and special teams ace, our players of the game. Our Bob Moffitt is standing by at field level, and right now he'll take Brandon Monroe first. Bob?
Yards, couple touchdowns. You played a whale of a game, and as hard-fought battles go, I guess this is about as hard-fought as it gets.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Elk Grove was an amazing team. They played hard, every single play, and we tried to bounce back, but I guess we're not good. We weren't there to execute it, but they did a really good job offensively and defensively.
You were 7-5 coming in. How untruthful was that 7-5 record?
Very untruthful. I mean, our preseason was really hard. I mean, we started out with some Southern California teams, Oaks Christian, Westlake, and there are some state teams, but I mean, we played it as hard as we could throughout the playoffs, and that's why we tested for this, and I believe in it, and I still do, but we just didn't finish it.
What's in your future?
I'm going to San Jose State. Hopefully, I'm going to play football there and keep continuing and hopefully get to that next level.
Okay, congratulations. Fantastic season. They moved up from Division 3 to Division 2 and made it this far. A whale of a ball game from Brandon Monroe. 35-32. Elk Grove squeaks out a win.
Well, thank you, Bob. A superlative performance tonight on the road. Casey Taylor's outfit making the journey from Loomis. They come up 3 points short on a night when those key plays and the late touchdown to conclude the first half really proved decisive in the final outcome of tonight's contest, Jim.
Well, it certainly was. Give credit to Del Oro coming back very strong in the half. Two good football teams. Brandon Martin certainly deserving of that player of the game. He is everything that we have been led to believe. He's had two phenomenal seasons. Despite injuries this year, came back strong with 900 yards in the last 4 or 5 games. And then tonight going for, I think, close to 2, I believe. As you know, he runs hard. He runs north-south. He gives it everything. He's got all the weapons. He's got several gears. A very impressive athlete.
Yeah, to be quite honest with you, every time he carried the football tonight, he looked like he grew in size. I mean to tell you, he physically looked bigger and bigger every time he got a touch and made the defensive players around him just look diminutive. I mean, truly a fullback-looking player and good size, but not tremendous in size. He is a dominating player, and if he can stay healthy, certainly San Jose State has found themselves a gem.
I agree with that, Will. He's a football player, as I rank, no matter where they put him. Yes, running back, but he could play anywhere.
And we saw him on defense, and especially early in this contest before the many, many carries wore him down, he was making some tremendous solo hits that were just punishing and decisive.
And like you said, he does wear down 25, 30, 35 carries a game. And you know he's getting the football. You know it.
Well, let's rejoin Bob Moffitt. He is standing by at field level with our other player of the game, the outstanding Wattis Parker from Elk Grove High School, who put on a real show tonight. Offense, defense, special teams, etc. Bob?
35-32, the Thundering Herd survive over Del Oro, and thanks not in small part to Wattis Parker. I was touch and go there for a while.
Yeah, it was tough. I can't. It's just hella tough, man. Too tough.
What were you expecting coming in?
I was expecting hard hitting. It was a defensive game at first, and then since our scrimmage, we knew it was going to be tough and we are going to have to fight through it, and that's why we conditioned a lot.
You guys run a lot of the same plays every week. I mean, people know what's coming at them. Why were you able to be successful on so many big plays tonight?
Well, my dad always told me if they know what's coming, they're going to have to stop me. They didn't stop me, of course. Me and my friend, Robert Frazier.
All right, and what's next? How do you see next week going?
I see the same thing, a rematch from last year, this round right here. We lost, it was disappointing, and now we're finna make it up by this rematch, and we're going to win.
All right, little redemption and revenge. Wattis Parker, player of the night for Elk Grove. They survive 35-32. Back to you.
Well, thank you, Bob. On an evening where we had two teams from vaunted programs, each club with an array of stars, we were certainly treated, and one of the better ball games we've seen thus far, not perhaps in how clean it was played because we had numerous penalties, but the star caliber play and the upper echelon level of play, most impressive.
Very impressive because these two teams got to the third round, Will, and it wasn't easy. And now as we move forward, Elk Grove a shot. You know, their only loss coming in the hands of Franklin, and now they got a shot at Folsom coming up. And really, as you look at this, the number 1 seed versus the 3 seed coming up in the finals in the city here of Division II football.
Well, I don't think area fans could ask for anything more than that, and perhaps it's going to be Elk Grove's most stern test of the entire season. Certainly from a defensive standpoint, no one yet has been able to slow down the aerial circus put together by Troy Taylor, Chris Richardson, and the Folsom Brain Trust. Not slowed down enough to defeat it or even come within a few touchdowns. That will be a major challenge, and Chris Nixon's crew and staff will be busy all week anticipating that. But here tonight, Elk Grove leads wire to wire, jumps out early and holds on late to stop pesky Del Oro by a final count of 35-32 in this Division II semifinal action of the CIF Sac-Joaquin section Les Schwab Tires football playoffs presented by Farmers Insurance. Access Sacramento and the Hometown Sports Game of the Week broadcast crew wish to express their collective appreciation to the Elk Grove High School administration for their assistance, and to PlayOn Sports and Vice President Jeff Kurtz, whose cooperation helped make this cable television internet sports production possible. The Hometown Sports Game of the Week is a special sports presentation of Access Sacramento in association with the Cosumnes River College Television Department and Play-by-Play Sports Productions. For Jim Domino, Bob Moffitt, and the entire Hometown Sports Game of the Week broadcast crew, I'm Will James. We thank you for tuning in, and we look forward to once again crossing your path. So long, everyone.